the CEO of the Australian Turf Club, Darren Pearce. And Darren, a good week for Warwick Farm, the pro ride and the facilities, they're just getting up towards scratch.
Yeah, we've been a long journey, Richard, to get it done, and we had to realise some assets to get the cash flow to do the investment in the training facilities, but we've done that now and very proud of the track, and we're sure it'll stand the trainers here in good stead.
Well, Peter Snowden knows plenty about these pro ride tracks, and he says this is now the best in the world, so that must make you pretty proud.
We had a bit of a false start on synthetic tracks, so we really wanted to make sure we got this one right. We benchmarked it to some of the tracks that we've seen around the world, and in Australia we looked at the best drainage techniques and how really to make it a long-term sustainable track. We think we've got that. It's early days and it needs to cope with the 4 seasons, but we've had a great start. The feedback's been wonderful, and we'll just keep monitoring it very closely to make sure it delivers what it promises.
It's easy to say what your wish list is, but is it just a matter of getting the money first before you're going off half-cocked?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just like you can't write the cheque if you haven't got the funds in your bank account. It's that simple. So
not always.
I know a few people who bet on credit, and the holes in their pants get bigger every day. But look, there's a lot to do at Warwick Farm. We know that the punters really want to see the course proper, built to modern standards. We've had washed out meetings here. It hasn't got the same drainage infrastructure that the other tracks in Sydney have. So we've started a design competition. We're obviously talking to Inglis about the stabling complex here. We're talking to potential local business partners about how we can rejuvenate the customer facility. So there's still a wish list of things to do here to make Warwick Farm everything it should be for the people of the Southwest. And, we're planning for that now, and we'll execute as soon as the funding's there. Yeah,
you've got the track, of course. We know that you've got the trainer's hut. We've got the race day stalls all better. How far away is the plan, say, for the punters and the people that want to come here and use Warwick Farm?
Look, I think it's a 3 to 5 year plan for the matters that need to happen. Obviously, we've got a lot on our plate in the project since we're well into the Randwick redevelopment. We'll move from Randwick to Rose Hill. Obviously, Rose Hill is a fantastic facility, but there are upgrades that can be made to the equine facilities. There are upgrades that can be made to the customer facilities. And as soon as Randwick's offline, we're headlong into Rose Hill to deliver on the $24 million promise that we made to the members of Rose Hill and the ATC. And then we'll come back to Warwick Farm to complete the journey.
Is that the complete journey? 1, 2, 3. That leaves Canterbury.
Canterbury's what it is. We've got 2 tracks that are our premium tracks that are really going to carry the bulk of the Saturday racing, and it doesn't take blind Freddie to see that's Randwick and Rose Hill. They're going to be the tracks that get the investment because they're the tracks that attract the bigger crowds and we get the thing. There's a very important role for Canterbury and Warwick Farm to play as our product venues, the industry meetings that we're required to run, and we'll obviously keep those ticking over, but they're not going to get the same investment necessarily that Rose Hill and Randwick get because they're the premium tracks they're our shop front. They're the ones that are going to attract the big crowds. So whilst we'll maintain those facilities and look after them, they just won't get the same level of investment that the other 2 do. In the business sense, they're the tracks that carry our premium product and our premium events and where we make the money.
The midweek meetings that have been farmed out to the provincial tracks, will they come to a halt? Yeah. I think the punters want to bet on the city meetings in the city.
Yeah, there's been a fair bit of speculation around that, and it's been some of it's been positive, some of it's been negative. It's something that's had to happen with the Randwick track offline, and the thing that people don't necessarily realise is all that racing infrastructure that's offline. If we bring those race meetings back, the builders lose 2 days. It's a day of preparation and the day of the racing. They can't do anything. And the contract's very tight to deliver in time. So if we started running all these meetings at Randwick, then there's no chance of having anything open for autumn 2013, and we don't want to be in that situation. So we had to push the meetings away because the other tracks that we have can only cope with so much traffic. What will happen is when we get back to Randwick, that limitation's not there. So those meetings come back. So it's only ever been a temporary thing. Well, I think what the project that is working is with, some pressure on the horse population and some pressure on the number of times we race in the city. We race 123 times a year. There's 52 weeks in a year, so racing midweek and Saturdays 104. So we're putting on another 19 meetings that we're squeezing around the 2 week, twice a week pattern. And sometimes we get to points in the cycle where we can't fill fields. We get poor wagering, and it's not the best look for Sydney racing. So what we are looking at, rather than transferring meetings away, is 123 meetings the right number of meetings to be running in the current environment? The answer is probably no. And if we let go of 10 to 12 of those meetings, manage the spread of meetings better, we won't end up with those situations where we have ordinary field sizes and really a product that Sydney racing isn't proud of. So bringing that back a little bit brings the field sizes up, gives the tracks a chance to present better, and hopefully means a much better product for our customers.
What about the Kensington track, Daz?
Kensington track, at the moment, the last 2 meetings it's performed okay. They tend to get off the rail there. It is basically a Strathair style subsurface drainage with a traditional style profile on top. That can't continue, and we're working with Racing New South Wales at the moment on a way that we can do that in an industry funded way, and hopefully there'll be resolution on that very soon.
At Warwick Farm, the people of the West, just back out here, the pro ride's up and the facilities are starting. No doubt the bottom line since World Youth Day would have been pretty handy out here.
Yeah, we estimate that it's well over 30, 40 million, somewhere in that range that's been spent. World Youth Day was over $20 million invested in Warwick Farm to transfer the Randwick horse population here. Since then, obviously, there's been a bee grass, there's been the new pro ride track, there's been trainers' huts, a lot of amenity improvements, that all adds up to well over 30 and heading towards $40 million. It's now a super training centre, really first-rate training centre. We know we need to address the track. We'll raise the capital for that over time, and after Randwick and Rosehill are completed, then we'll complete the picture here at Warwick Farm, and Sydney racing will really have a good setup. As we know, Canterbury's our most consistent track at the moment. This is probably the weaker of the tracks that we have. Get that right, get the facilities right at our premium venues, comfortable facilities at our other venues, and Sydney racing has a good pattern for the future.
Good luck, mate.
Thank you.